Okay, so this is the game 2 of the Mayfly Dodgers. In this particular case, they're taking on the Mordekaiser's Marauders, which is a Chaos team. Uh, Man, the Chaos got really lucky there. It's a really good MVP to get. Both sides came out of this with a pretty hefty amount of SPP, so I think we're just going to get right into the replay. I don't think either side's particularly feeling that unhappy about a 2-2 draw, where I don't think anything died on either side. We're in the Pro Elf Stadium. Not that that particularly matters that much, since these are relatively fresh teams, so we're not seeing any stadium enhancements. I'm not actually sure who technically won the coin flip there. Okay, the Pro Elves won the coin flip and got to choose. Chose to defend, and also have the fan factor, which is pretty decent for a whole variety of reasons. Okay, so we got the 3 loners on the LOS. I prefer to have them scrunched up, especially against a team like this, because, to be perfectly honest, you're not... Okay, there we go, scrunching up. It's a bit of a contentious thing, actually. Like, some people like having them on the far edges and then one in the center. But against a team like Chaos, like, they have so many pieces, they want to murder you, so I usually find giving the least amount of blocks is the best way to go, and that's the 3 in the center. Like, if you're fighting a Chaos team or a Nurgle team that had tentacles, you might want to spread out more, just so that they can't base all of them. But in this particular case, this is totally how I would set up. I mean, we have a bunch of garbage linemen to get punched, and who no one really cares about them, and then all our positionals are hidden in the back, so... And then we accidentally undo our setup, but that's fine. I do like the blitzers being on the outside. Because Chaos could theoretically come down back here and 2-dice your player in the corner. I don't think he will, but it is something that theoretically could. This is a really strange and aggressive setup for Chaos. And our first kickoff event is high kick, which is something that the defender always wants to get. And fails to catch it. Still lands a single square away from him. First hit is a removal. Never really something you want to see as the Pro Elves, but not much you can do there. I mean, it's not terrible. The worst part is that because the ball bounced between the two things, he can just concentrate on doing all these LOS hits, because he's not too worried about the theoretical 1 and 9 when he's already done this. What? Why? Okay, I legitimately don't understand why we did that, instead of just blitzing with the warrior, but okay. And then we followed up. Not what I would pick here, since he literally just gave this blitzer a 2-dice for no reason. We do the handoff and it fails. Why were we even doing a handoff? I don't... Was that a throw? No, it was literally a handoff that, I guess, technically ended up in the hands of the guy that he wanted it to anyway, but... I mean, I guess it's a guy that was already at 3 of 6, but I don't know why we were doing that right now. And like I said, like, he just gave you that 2-dice. That was a very strange play. Definitely follow up here, because he can base up both of them. Ooh! I doubt we're going to see an Apo usage, so that's just a dead player. Does he even have... He doesn't have an Apo. Well, I mean, I guess if you have something that's going to die, a Beastman, he's pretty much glad that it's not this Chaos Warrior. Pretty good elf screen here. You did leave a hole here, though. But other than that, it's a really good screen. Let's look at this particular section right here, though. So there's 3 spaces between these two. Granted, he can't really get past, but he could, if he wanted to, knock this guy down and then send someone over on this other side. I know he's not going to do that, but a faster team could theoretically pull that off. I'm just going to assume he's just going to continue trying to push players down this side, since this is such a high-scoring game. Continues to base his players up against yours. Could have turned this into a chain push. Get another KO, so he maintains the man advantage, although you have the 1 Kaz to his 0. So if your KOs come back, you're in pretty decent shape. Really heavily based here. I mean, I guess he's correct in that there's pretty much no way you're going to be able to take advantage of all of these hits, but... I mean, if he wants to score, the way to do it is not basing a catcher right there, when you can just easily bring a player over here to pull off the 2 dice. Alright, so there's no real easy way to get in the back door, but definitely want to use at least one of these. I would probably use this guy to put up somewhere back here, just to create the theoretical threat of the back door to the ball. Even though you're probably never going to do anything with it. Down he goes. Ooh, and a break. It's going pretty decently so far this turn. You can move this guy up. I don't really like having both catchers this vulnerable, but it's not the worst, I guess. He basically has no choice but to switch sides here. Although he's just continuing to base up. That being said, this amount of hits on the blitzers makes me cringe every time. Because, well, my guys just die when they get hit, so... I would be careful about leaving that many free hits on, like, your catchers and blitzers. These are all positionals that are getting hit, so... He just seems to want to give you as many LOS, as many free hits as he can possibly give you, which is just... I don't understand it. However, one thing I'm going to point out right here, I don't really know what you're going to do here, but this loner here, if you can turn this into a 2 dice, so this guy hits here. Or no, wait, that's not the right hit. Where is it? Is it this guy that does it? He's on the ground, though. I mean, there are several push plays that could be done here, and I mean, obviously I haven't seen yet what you do, but one of them is blitzing this guy with this piece. It's a 1 dice, don't get me wrong, but you push this guy up to here and pushes this guy to here, and then lets you put the sidestepper back here on the ball. That's not necessarily a great move. If he was a blodge stepper, though, I would 100% try to pull stuff like that. And then you could do stuff like do a hit from this guy to push this guy down out of here, and I think that's really the only other push play here, because this guy hitting, yeah, there's no other real good push play. I'm gonna blitz in the back, which is okay, I don't hate it. Oof. I mean, he did give you an easy 1 dice on the ball, and I don't hate you taking that, but, like, take the 2 dice first. Because, like, your whole team is now based up, so this could go very poorly now. And definitely at least stand up your players first. Like, this blitzer should be on his feet. Because if they block him, there's a chance you can just walk him right into the ball. Alright, we got our first injury. It's on a loner. I mean, he did get pretty unlucky on those dice there, but like I said, like, you definitely want to take some of these 2 dice first. So he's not getting to 2 dice your entire team. Because this could end very badly. So just bear that in mind when you're doing riskier plays. Where is he going to put his ball? Everybody is pretty much based. Also, his block dice have been absolutely amazing in this, like, few turns. There's legitimately no way he can complain about them. Alright, so he's going to potato. Kind of. It doesn't matter, he got a POW anyway. And then removes the guy. So yeah, that was a bad turn. But yeah, you just gotta be careful with just giving free blocks like that. Yeah, I don't hate that. You definitely follow up there, though. You put that guy on the ball. Down goes the catcher. How many rerolls do we have? Okay, yeah, I don't hate that at all. You've successfully split his team in half, which is good. He can definitely get the ball over to these players, but they're not in the optimal position anymore. I assume he's just going to push down to this side. Yeah, more pushes. And this is why I liked moving this guy onto the ball, because if you can just like swing around the ball with if he's just pushing you. I mean, you don't have dodge, so it is a bit more dangerous, but that's still like my favorite thing to do with blitzers, is just sit them on the ball. Is he just gonna straight up just give you a 1 dice in the ball here? He is straight up gonna give you a 1 dice in the ball. Okay. So, let's look at this carefully here. So this guy can get all the way back here, but he can't get to the ball. It's this player. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it's terrible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's where you want to be. Or do you want to... Basically, if you make some GFIs on these 2 players, you can 2 dice the ball. It's not great. It's a bit risky, but... yeah, and I think it's honestly the best play here. We do only have the 1 reroll, don't get me wrong. And it is a bunch of dice, but it would be a play that would punish him just for this setup that he did. Because, I mean, if you weren't a Movement 6 elf team, this would be an easy sack. But as it is, let's see, it's a 1. So 1, 2 plus dodge. Another 2 plus dodge. We're at 3 squares of movement, 4 squares, 5 squares, 6 squares. So 1 GFI. And then you swing back around this other way. I think it's a few more dice than I like rolling, but there is definitely a world in which you can do it. Ugh. Okay, now I wouldn't do it, but... Yeah, okay, I like this move. As long as this blitzer ends up on the ball. Like, you better follow up here. Yeah, there you go. Now put the other thrower on it too, if you can. Maybe. Or no, the catcher works. Okay. Oof. Well, he's fine. He's fine. Okay, he's just going to base you up with all his dudes. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not a difficult hit because you don't have any defensive skills, but Still, he could have won a 9th there, and then lost the ball. So it gives you 3 turns to score. If your KOs are good, you shouldn't be that far behind. 2 come back, that's excellent. So you're down 2 players. Not awful. Yeah, so we're down 2, he's down 1. Alright, so this setup that he did is actually fairly terrible. This guy's the weak link right here. The sides are kind of a... I mean, he can go for this guy too, but I think this guy is the piece to hit. And realistically, all it is you just blitz forward with a 1 dice. That is honestly what I would do here, is try to blitz this guy off to the side with a 1 dice. Because all you need is a push, and then you can just flood through this hole. Anywhere else, you're kind of moving along the sides, which I'm not a huge fan of. And I'd basically just be putting shit linemen on the line here just to get punched by these Chaos Warriors who dodge out. Yeah, that's pretty much it here. That's what I would do. But yeah, blitz this guy with this guy, push him to the side, and then just go through the hole. It also works on this guy too. I just think this side is a little bit easier just because of most of the Chaos Warriors are on this side. Whereas if we go up here, it's on these goats to try to do stuff. Just gentle gust of wind. Ball lands pretty good, actually. No sure hands does make this a bit more dangerous, but that's fine. I will note that while I don't hate the way you just did that, like I said, if you'd done this other side, or even if you've just done the 1 dice, you wouldn't have to make all these dodges, which granted you appear to be making anyway, but without dodge, I'm pretty iffy about making random dodges. And you only have 1 scoring threat, which is this guy right here, which I'm not a fan of at all. You do have 1 more turn after this, but also you didn't dodge these players out. At least try to dodge out your real players, so they don't get killed. Granted, they're pretty fine here, but... Okay, so we only have the 1 scoring threat back there right now, but not that difficult to get another player back there. But he's quickly closing up the gaps. And he still hasn't used his blitz. So, this is going to be unfortunate, probably. Assuming the catcher. Yep. Easiest target. Another KO. So the scoring risk here is pretty not great. You definitely go... Nope. You go to the side here. Right here. If you want an easier... Well, I guess no. Both ways suck. Alright, so we're going to switch sides, which is decent. Never mind. Ugh. Running out of rerolls, just, yeah. I'm deeply curious how you score in this half. Unless he just screws up these 2 blocks that he has here. Whenever you're following up with, or whenever you're using sidestep, I would not go towards the side. You're not Agi 5, so it's going to be real difficult for you to get out of there. All these blocks he's throwing, and yet you're the one that dub skulled, not him. There's no way he's scoring. So you're going down. Are you even a scoring threat? No, you're not a scoring threat anymore. Alright, so this half is going to end 1-0 then. Oh, good thing you had the reroll. Okay. See, like I was saying, the main thing there would have been to just put at least one more player up there as a scoring threat. Only one player is just not enough. And that's why I would have said that I would have gone for this side, because you push this guy to the side, and then you just put multiple players up in this region. Most of these warriors are too far away. Like, they're not going to be able to get up here. And so, yeah, like, I just think that it's a mistake to set up on the side that you are. Not that it's really that much different, but it looks like you're going for the 1 dice. So this is very similar to what you'd be doing on this side, so that's fine. We're putting up a couple scoring threats, which I like, or at least just screening targets. So we're going to fully cage here, I guess, by the looks of it, which is an interesting choice. Yeah, loner gets hit. That's fine. Another loner gets hit. Also fine. I'm not a huge fan of this lineman here basing this guy for no real reason. He's going to be able to base up all your players anyway. Like, he has enough loose players in this area. When I'm screening, I prefer to be at least, like, you want to be, like, 4 squares apart from each other, or 2 squares apart in the center, I should say. So that he can't use one player to base up 2. Not that he's really going to, he's just making a lot of 2 dice here. Gonna hit the catcher, figured that was coming, but luckily it's a push. Okay, yeah, easy to free up that guy. So because he was so aggressive in this area here, he's basically given you the score if you can get the ball up to that catcher. That's easier said than done, mind you, but... Ooh, sideline cage. Ooh. Okay, we're good. I guess it was only a 4+ pass, which isn't terrible. I would have probably... I mean, at least stand up that player first if you're not going to move him. So many movements. He blitzed the wrong blitzer. Ooh. Badly hurt. But yeah, that was the wrong target for him. He should have been blitzing the top one. Just some casual 1 dice there. Not really sure why he didn't move one of his extra players to make that a 2 dice, but he wasn't punished, so whatever. Not even really sure why he made that dodge, but... let's see, it's 3+2+ to get free. Which you obviously did. There's also a chain push play there. Which I want to quickly go back and look at. care about this for 1 second because I want to go back. Okay. So I want to get to the end of his turn. Whoops, no, I'm going way too far now. Okay, so he did that hit. He does this hit. Nope, goddammit. Missed it again. Okay, so he does a couple more hits. I just need to watch these again. This is obnoxious. Alright, there's the failed dodge. Okay. So basically, how do we pull this off? Do we have any play? We have this. This is the player in the area. Alright. So there is a world in which this is actually... I believe it's technically safer than the 3+2+. But anyway, it's a 2+ dodge. You come down this way. It's actually a 2 dice. So you dodge this guy here and then here for a 2+, and then this guy goes 2+, and then he walks and he blitzes this guy. You blitz this way, push him up to here, and now it's a 2+, just a single 2+ to get free. Now, I'm not saying that's what you should do. I'm just saying that in addition to the 3+2+, you did in fact have an option because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's no GFIs involved. It's just a 2+ to get here and a 2+ to get down here. Now, granted, it is more dice than the 3+2+. I'm not arguing that fact, but I just want to point out, like, you always got to be careful looking for areas where you can chain push. Now we're just going to skip to the next half. Okay. So we do still have the one sleepy catcher, which is unfortunate. We definitely did not want him sleeping this off. Because I think he's the guy at 3 of... No, he's at 0 of 6. Okay. Alright, they are still only down 1, and you are down 3 at this point, so not great. Not a huge fan of the setup that we just deployed here. Okay, he gets another high kick. One thing, this guy I would move 1 forward. Just take the hit on the thrower and protect these 2. Because currently, if he has an extra chaos where he can just base up a beastman here and then blitz your catcher, which you don't want. At least he's failed both catches. And you do have 4 rerolls, so that's good too. Ooh, a nice stub skull there. But then he gets the removal, so we're down 3 players. And he just, again, continues to throw 2 dice without positioning any of his players, so don't do that. And then again a blitz without picking up the ball. He's trying to screen off so he can quickly do another score by the looks of it. But unfortunately, he does get the pickup. Okay, brings it back. It's really safe ball. Now it's even more safe. That was a really risky 2+ with no reroll, though. Not really sure why he did that, but... yeah, I guess he didn't have the follow-up hit there. Protect that catcher. One thing to note about your screen here, like I do like that you've screened here, but like he's not going to go in this direction. All of his players are on this side, so realistically you'd much prefer to have a player here than a player over here. Just so at least you control who he's blitzing. Whereas in this case, he's almost certainly going to blitz your blitzer. Yep. least he hasn't been fouling. Alright, so you definitely want to shift your screen if that's what you're going to keep doing. I mean, I know it is a bunch of dodges, but like... Okay, I need to switch these views again. Like screening here, these two here, and then these two here, and then just putting someone here would pretty much suppress most of his team. Now, I know obviously he scores quickly and then you score quickly, but just trying to point out extra options that you could do based on what you do. I think the obvious blitz here is that you move one of these players over to this square here or this square here, and then you blitz this guy off, which is what you do. I would not have picked the catcher, but mostly because of the square that he ends up in. Makes it really difficult to form your screen based on that position. We do get a good Kaz, though, so you're at least getting the numbers back. Alright, we have screened, but now our catcher is the one in the front, which I do not like at all. Asymmetrical screen, pretty good. Ooh, had a dude on the ball, I like it. Making him take chances, always a good thing. Trying to think if there's any sort of weird chain push plays he can do here. No, because this guy's here and this guy's here. If he could fit a player here, he could chain push you off by fitting players in, but he can't do that, so... Yeah, the way these guys are positioned is actually pretty good. He's just going to take all the free 2 dice, unfortunately. Okay, now this... No, it's still not a chain push play. Not that matters, he got the pals he needed. And then he's just going to blitz your sidestepper, I assume. Nope, he's going to go for the other side. Okay. And then he pushes you down, which... That was a strange way to do it, because... That didn't even clear a hole. Fair enough, I guess. I'm deeply confused by that play. Okay, so now we have this. So he's left a 1 dice on that ball, 100%. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, this is 8. This is 9. So yeah. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That would be if you had dodge built in, which you don't. So it's a 2+ into a 2+ to hit this guy if you feel like it for a 1 dice. And the only thing you need to do... Actually, you don't need to do anything, because this guy's already tied off, so... It's literally just a free 2 dice. Oh, actually, yeah, you can do it with that guy as well. And there you go. Down he goes. Good bounce, too. Great bounce, I would say. It's a real pity that your catchers have, like, no defensive skills. Failed to pick up. One thing to note, and it's really more of a minor issue. Granted, he just caught the ball, so that sucks. But the way that you dodged here, you dodge out and then back in. Because dodging into a tackle zone is a 3-up. I mean, you did make the dodge, but you made it more difficult than it had to be. And this guy, I mean, he wasn't really planning on running much of anywhere anyway, so... You definitely want to use the extra square movement to make it into a 2+ instead. It would still give you enough to pull out, because that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could still throw it to that guy if you wanted, so. Unfortunately, though, he picked up the ball instead. And this is an easy touchdown for him, really. Ooh, 1 and 9. And then he pows it. I think this is a GFI though. It is. So that makes it a bit more dangerous. But he makes it. Okay, let's look at your KO rolls. You get 0 back case. That was terrible. So we're down to 6 elves, which is pretty bad. This is definitely where you want to hit this guy here. He's set up the same way each time. This way just requires less people. Okay, there we go. Now you're setting up for it. Although, yeah, there's a hole on this side now, too. You can literally just blitz this guy down with a 2 dice and then just put all your players up here. Ooh, and you even get the good event. Of course, you don't catch it. Okay, yep. So this is the easy hit. You just blitz that guy through. I think you went 1 square too far. It's probably just easier to just hit this way, hit up. Because now we only have, what, 2 extra... Oh, wait, no, we have enough squares. Never mind. Okay, we do get the pickup. I do like the hiding him. You don't really need to screen him off. He's not going to get hit. The thing you do need to screen off is your catcher. Because let's see. Currently it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's almost certainly going to blitz your blitzer though, so. But he could just as easily just tie up your blitzer with like 2 players and then 2 dice blitz your catcher. Wait, there's literally a hole right there. Never mind. He can easily blitz your catcher. He isn't going to though, which is definitely a mistake. Ooh, GFI fails to a stun. Not terrible. Okay, he's definitely giving you some holes here. Obviously, one of the best things would be to dodge this piece out to give the extra assist here, so he can turn this into a 2 dice. I'm gonna assume that's what you're doing here. Yeah. Wrong. I guess actually that works out the same way either way. Because you're just canceling out the assist instead. Alright, so we got an easy 2 dice with a 2+ with a reroll into a 2. No, it's a 3+ with a reroll into a 2+ with a reroll into a 2+. Which is pretty good odds. Oh, and of course we fail the 2+. But we make the reroll. All in all, pretty well played game. You pretty much took most of the shots that he gave you, so I don't really have much to say on that. Your KO rolls were, I don't want to say average, but like when you needed them, for the most part, they came up. One thing I said okay, there we go. You are pushing 1 square up. Chaos isn't a team that's going to 1-turn, most likely, but I guess it is theoretically possible. We do have just enough players in the backfield that we can do all of the squares. Which will basically make it impossible because he's moving 6. He needs 5 pushes. He can't do 5 pushes. There's no chance he's 1-turning. Oh, sweltering heat. Well, it's a good thing that happened on turn 16 and not earlier. That could have definitely screwed... Well, it probably would have screwed him more, but it could screw you. Since he's definitely rolling more dice. could have turned those into 3 dice, but he didn't for some reason. That's a little bit strange, but... And then he fails to pick up. And that's that. Dice rolls for both of you were relatively even. I mean, you didn't break his armor much, but you really shouldn't be expecting to break his armor much. That being said, for no mighty blow, you actually did break his armor quite a bit. Your armor was similarly paper, despite the fact that he had no mighty blow. Let's see. Your block dice were pretty good in the way that you got a lot of POWs. He just rolled, 60 more block dice than you did, so... yeah. So, nothing super stands out in the dice, even through watching the game. Like, you guys had a couple bad results. Really, aside from the one dub skull that you rolled, though, like, there wasn't really a whole lot of, like, things you could have avoided. So yeah, I do think that was quite well played, and you definitely got a decent amount of SCP out of it. So there's definitely nothing to be complaining about here, aside from the lineman MVPs that you've gotten both so far. But I mean, you do want kick, you do want wrestle on your linemen, so not really a huge negative either. But so that'll be that for this recap. So have a good one.